You know, those of us who live in California, we don't get a lot of rain. But this weekend, I think we've got 4 or 5 days straight of rain. I'm so excited. I can't wait to snuggle up with a blanket, cup of coffee, read my book, maybe play a little Stardew Valley with my wife. It's been a while since I've made a video. Has it been like 3 weeks? Wow. I feel like I've just been starting off my videos with life updates, talking about how busy I am. And that's the truth. Life has been pretty busy. And I don't know about you, but it feels like time has just blown by. Felt like September was ages ago. And that was a blink of an eye. October, where did that go? Halloween? Once I post this video, I think we're going to be halfway through November. And then Christmas. Christmas is coming up. And normally, my wife and I like to decorate the day after Thanksgiving. But I think we're going to decorate tonight. Start settling in to the holiday. So as you might know, if you follow my channel, I started Lonesome Dove about a month and a half ago. You know, with October coming, I was excited for spooky season. So I wanted to read Ray Bradbury and Stephen King. Wanted to read scary books. But when I opened Something Wicked This Way Comes, I just wasn't feeling it. So I put it down for a day, 2 days, picked it back up. Nope, still not feeling it. And that's because I was thinking about Lonesome Dove. And the moment I opened Lonesome Dove and read the first few pages, I knew this was going to be special. When that moment hits you and you know you're reading a once-in-a-lifetime book. And the fact that it's been over a month since I first started this book, and I'm only 135 pages in, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being 12 chapters into a book and maybe picking this book up once every few days. But that's not because I'm not into the book or because the book is boring. No. I love Lonesome Dove, but life has just been busy. Other hobbies have resurfaced. Priorities have come about, and I'm not dedicating a lot of my time to reading. But when I put this book down, when I put Lonesome Dove down, I'm still thinking about it. Same thing happened with Wheel of Time, Eye of the World, Book 1. I started that in March 2023, and took me about 7 months to finish. Life happens. Priorities come about. You dedicate time to other hobbies and friends and family. And reading just takes a back seat every now and then. And that's just something I preach on this channel. Why rush? It's always been about the journey, not the destination. And Lonesome Dove, this is a book I honestly do not want to rush. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I don't want to race through it. You can only read a book for the first time once. And knowing that makes me want to savor every word, every moment between Gus and Call, and that little outfit of ranchers and cowboys. I think this book came to me at the right time. At the right time of my life. I've been reading a lot of books that, more often than not, are coming-of-age stories. They're about a young character growing up, learning, gaining life experiences, and developing over time over the course of that story, that series. And I've enjoyed those books, but Lonesome Dove is different because it's not a coming-of-age story. It's about old men past their prime. It's about men with knowledge, habits, and characteristics that they've developed over time, over their young lives. They have stories and lessons to share. And of course, there are a few young characters kind of growing and learning and finding their identity within this group. This book just hits different because I feel like I'm at that age where I'm not in high school, not in college. I see the reality of life, of adulthood, and the responsibilities that come with it. And of course, I'm not saying I know everything. I will always learn and grow as I get older. But I'm able to relate to these characters on a different level compared to Harry Potter, or Quoth, or Corey Mackinson from Boy's Life. It's a very mature book in tone and execution. I think that's just what I've been craving in a story. I don't necessarily want to escape into a fantasy realm or relive my childhood vicariously through a young boy growing up in Alabama. The way Larry McMurtry tells this story, it's, like I've said, it's mature in tone, but also it's straightforward. And that's not a bad thing. It's not rocket science. It's not trying to be too smart. It's not trying to be poetic and lyrical. And I love poetic and lyrical books. Last Unicorn and Name of the Wind. Love that stuff. But this is different. There are words in here that I might need a dictionary for. But with how Larry writes, I understand the context certain words are being used in. So I don't need a dictionary. It just makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. I love this book, and I love the way it's written. I love how he presents the story and how he juggles all of these characters without it being overly complex and confusing. It's not like Wheel of Time, where there's 2,000 named characters. Yeah, there are actually a lot of named characters in this book. Although Lonesome Dove is a small town, Larry is going to tell you about the people who live in it. Everyone praises this book for its characters. And I agree. These are the most real characters I've ever experienced. How he juggles all these names and people in this small town. It's so effortless. How he presents each character, bit by bit, maybe a few at a time. He'll tell you a little bit about them. And then he'll weave in their backstory, or maybe a part of that backstory. Why they're here. What brought them to this table, to this chair? What brought them to Lonesome Dove? A thing you'll hear me talk about on my channel is how much I love ambiguity. How things are shown and not told. How things are alluded to and suggested and not said outright. But the interesting thing here with Lonesome Dove, it feels like everything's told. There's a lot of telling. But that's not a bad thing. He does it so well. Like I've mentioned with the backstories. He tells you about a character, but then he'll weave in that backstory and tells you a bit of that backstory. Like, for example, there is a wooden sign in the front of their ranch. And McMurtry will use 3 or 4 pages telling you the backstory of that sign, the origins of that sign. What makes Larry McMurtry's writing style unique to me is how he tells you it, how he tells you the information, how he shares and presents that information to you. When you get a glimpse of someone's backstory, that provides weight and care and investment in that character. For example, how this wooden sign was made says a lot about the characters and their relationship and their little dynamics and quirks and habits. bit by bit, line upon line, precept upon precept. It just creates this living, breathing world, these living, breathing characters that feel so real. I feel like I'm reading history. And sure, I'm reading historical fiction, but I feel like this took place. These characters feel like they lived in this world. And I'm just getting a little glimpse of their story. I know I said it in my last video, how I feel like this book could easily be an all-timer for me. I definitely feel like that could happen. But maybe, just maybe, this could dethrone Name of the Wind as my all-time favorite book. But we'll see. I just know this book is going to be special, and I don't want to rush it. I don't mind taking Thanksgiving and Christmas to read it. Maybe a little bit of the New Year, too. If you made it this far in my video, and you endured my ramblings, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with me, to hear me talk about Lonesome Dove. A one-of-a-kind book. So, as always, till next time.